What are some street smarts everyone should know? I grew up in a pretty rough neighborhood in Chicago, and probably the best thing you should do when walking by yourself at night is pay attention to every car. Usually they'll drive past you and scope you out. If you look like a target, you'll see that car again, or they'll meet you farther down your path while you're walking past an alley. Always be ready for something when walking past an alley, and stay close to the houses, that way if anything's suspicious, you can run into a backyard. My buddy won tickets from a radio station in FL for an all-expense trip to the Open Air Fest in Chicago at the Fire Stadium. We did not know the area at all. One night we left the show and decided to walk for a bit before we found an Uber. We were pretty intoxicated and ended up strolling through the train yard and ended up in what seemed like a not such good part of town. I finally convinced my stubborn friend we needed to call a lift immediately, as I kept seeing red flags. It started raining and we waited for our Uber under a tree at an intersection. A car passed us once with tinted windows and bumping bass. It caught my eye. 5 minutes later it was back and I started freaking out. Our Uber pulled up just a minute later and the nice lady driving asked, "What the hell are you white boys doing here?" I felt so lucky and stupid. If someone asks your shoe size, start walking, lol. This gave me some bad memories of growing up in a shitty neighborhood. "Hey bro, what size shoes you got?" is not a question you want to hear at 1 AM on a Friday night from someone you didn't even see. A stranger asked me that while I was looking at shampoo at Target. I just said big and he asked if I could take them off so he could see. I told a store associate who got security. Apparently the guy was asking everyone that, man or woman. I really want to know what his goal was. Lock your doors as soon as you're in your car. Before using any ATM, tug hard on the plastic card reader. Scammers often put a fake one on top that steals your info. This happens a lot to outdoor card readers at gas stations too. To add on this, turn your phone Bluetooth on and search. Most of these scammers return to the ATM and retrieve the info through Bluetooth. Source: former PSI SES compliance officer. Just because someone is friendly with you, doesn't mean they have a good heart. One of the hardest lessons I've had to learn is that nice is different than good. Don't ever tell the cab driver you don't know where you're going. Why? If you are in any sort of confrontation and someone balls their fist and looks away for a second, or even just looks away for a second, you should be prepared for the possibility of a sucker punch. I just posted something similar. Good advice as well. The look away is the tell. Wear shoes you can run the fuck away in. I 100% do this everywhere. Like Mel Gibson said, "He who fights and runs away, lives to run away another day." Good one. Met dudes with flip-flops, expensive but unrunnable office shoes, or badass but also unrunnable rocker type boots. Same reason these days why police and military are using ergonomic sneaker and boot hybrid footwear. The old black leather boots weren't designed for run. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. Had an experience with this once. 2 masked guys on bikes came up to me and my friends and asked if we wanted some free weed. They showed me something wrapped in tin foil. Immediately declined. Still wonder what their scam was. If you're ever locked up and some of the guys are playing cards and you happen to see a card fell into one of their laps, don't try and be helpful and point out that they dropped a card. Also, don't make a deal that you can't pay up on. You got nowhere to go. And be aware of any blind spots that cameras don't cover and try to avoid those areas, that is, unless you're trying to whack someone incognito. I see you fell for the old card in the lap trick as well. If you're driving and hit black ice, just take foot off gas but don't brake until the slide stops. This is great advice. Generally speaking, brakes are not your friend if there is any situation where grip is limited. Braking will often cause the car to become unbalanced and often contribute to a crash. Is that stranger being overly nice to you? Are you on the sidewalk? Are you alone? The reason it feels like something is wrong is because something is wrong. Nobody approaches you on the street because they want to do something for you. It's always because they want something from you. When walking in an unfamiliar city or trail, look back regularly. It will help you to remember landmarks that will guide you back home. Here are a few of street smarts that makes it harder for pickpockets to steal your stuff. Do not keep your wallet in the back pocket of your jeans. This is a super easy place for pickpocket to take it from. When in crowded touristy areas, it sometimes is better to wear your backpacks or purses to the front of your body. If you sit down in a restaurant, keep your backpack in front of your feet. Be especially aware of your belongings when there is a bit of pushing, like when entering a subway or metro wagon. Be alert in situations where a potential group of thieves try to distract you, for example by asking you for directions on a map. While you are distracted by showing the person the directions, another thief will open your bags and take your stuff without noticing. Edit. Another thing to look out are people in European cities asking for cash donations for the blind, deaf or handicapped. The huge majority of them are not for real charities but just to A, get some money from me, and B, more importantly, for an accomplice to see where you store your wallet. When traveling in Europe, I'm most comfortable keeping my phone and ID in an interior pocket of my coat, which is zipped up. Subscribe for more hot Reddit takes in your inbox, guaranteed.